Hello, so we've got another lick coming up in just a second, but before we go into that, please do consider subscribing, liking the channel, liking the video, and commenting below with anything you wish to see within this channel. For the tab, it's on my website dansguitar.com, linked up there and down below. And if you want more lessons and jamming tracks, or the jamming track for this lesson, you can go to my Patreon page, which is patreon.com/dance page, linked. If you want the smaller version of that jamming track, it is at the end of this video, just for you guys just to jam along with. So there's a 2-minute version of it rather than the full, I think it's about 4 minutes long. Excuse me, burpy burp. So yeah, there we go. I'll give you the lick and breakdown, and that's about it, and that's coming up now. So it's not that difficult to play in the sense of you're only using the pentatonic scale, so that is great. So you've got a standard kind of rock and rolly riff with this thing coming in, but it's more about the way in which you are holding the notes and coming off of the notes. So the first initial bend, we've got a slight blues curl after that initial bend, so straight into another blues curl on that 5th fret of the 3rd string. So it's these little things to consider. So I do recommend getting the tab, because that'll indicate with a quarter tone bend, which is not quite a quarter tone, but you'll get the gist. So it's a blues curl and something which you can put into your playing quite easily. The hard part, I would say, is that getting the speed on the 7/5 pull off to the 7 on the A string, and then jumping down to the 3rd fret of the A string as well. So that's an area where you can try and focus on the speed of it and the cleanliness of it. So start it slow, keep it even, and you won't go far wrong, but it may take a little bit of time just to get used to that kind of fluency with it. Anyway, let's get the breakdown underway, and then you can start learning it. So here it comes now. Fairly straightforward then. So the bend initially is on the 8th fret of that first? No, it's not. The 2nd string. And you've got full tone bend. So it's, and then when you bring it back down, so you bend it up, take it straight back down to the static position, strike it again with a blues curl. So you're holding the note and gradually and really slowly bending that a quarter of a tone until you reach the end of the length of the note, where you kind of hook it like that, yeah? So you get straight into the 5th fret of the 3rd string, again another blues curl, and then we're down to, which is the 7/5 pull off on the 4th string to the 7 on the 5th string, another blues curl on the 3rd fret of that 5th string, and then you strike the 5th fret E string, so the A note, twice, and then you let that ring with vibrato at the end of that. So it's like, and then the rock and roll riff, which is simply a 7 on the 3rd, bend it up, go to the 5 on the 2nd, roll it across to the 5 on the 1st, back to the 5 on the 2nd, and then 8th fret full tone bend with vibrato to finish. That is your lick. Now, as I demonstrated in the demonstration, that was it, it's the right word, isn't it, of that lick, I went up the octave as well, which is written down on the tab. So if you need that, download it from the website dansguitar.com. and this one you've got, so it's the same thing as what we were doing down here in the lower octave, but you're using the 20th fret full tone bend, taking it down to the static position with that blues curl on the end, and then it's the 17, then you go to the D string for 19, come off to the 17, to the 19, to the 15, and then 17 twice with that vibrato, and then the rock and roll lick, which is basically 19 full tone bend, and then 17, 17, 17, note the finger rolling across, and then full tone bend from that 20th fret on the second string. Some people would call this the dusty end. There you go. I'll play the whole lick slow. Here it is. 3, 4, and... Get that jamming track at the end of this video, and Patreon if you want the full one. I'll hand you back to me right now. Here we are. Right, so the end. Please do consider sharing, liking, subscribing and hitting that bell button for this video. Comment below with anything you would like to see, and visit dansguitar.com for the tab and patreon.com/Dan's page for anything else, lessons and the jamming track for this lesson. For the full version, that is, and then you've got that smaller version, 2-minute version, coming up in just a second. But it leaves me to say goodbye for now. I bid you farewell. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next week for week 340. Blimey, 340 licks. Here's that jamming track coming up now. See you later, everyone. Bye.